TFMX presents. Let's go save the world, dude! Sonic will fall right into my trap. Sonic Riders Zero Gravity Review with Turbo. Only on TFMX.
Hello guys, and welcome to the gaming review of Sonic Riders Zero Gravity for the Nintendo Wii and the PS2. Yes, it's me, Turbo, your ever lovable Nintendo, Wii news reporter as such, and big time Sonic fan. So this is the first Wii title to be reviewed at TFMX.co.uk. So here we go. I think we should get cracking on with it. So obviously I've been playing the Wii edition of Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, and is of course the sequel to the game that was on pretty much the old formats, which was Sonic Riders on the Xbox, GameCube, and PS2. So let's get cracking anyway. Let's start off with ZG, with Sonic Riders Zero Gravity's story. Now, the story to Sonic Riders Zero Gravity is just like your typical Sonic Riders, or Sonic storyline as such, but a little bit worse. This time around, Sonic has to deal with rampaging robots. Woo! Yeah, it sounds thrilling enough, doesn't it? Well, basically, the opening cutscene shows you that there's this big meteorite comes in and crashes onto the ground and rolls off and just touches this robot, sparking off an iRobot ripoff scene. Basically, all the robots kind of like get up and then they just walk off and destroy stuff. Totally ripping off iRobot there. As I said, that was the first thing I thought when seeing that scene. It was just terrible. And fast forward to the next morning, we have Tails, Knuckles, and Sonic in a hovercraft of some sort. And Tails finds this artifact that crash landed into the city, and gives it to Sonic, and then the robots attack them, and Sonic finds, while amidst the confusion, Sonic finds the ability of what it holds, which is the power over gravity. And what do? We have a race after that, and that's just terrible, isn't it? And then in the story, it's basically the same thing. It's like cutscene race, cutscene race, cutscene race, cutscene race. It's very repetitive. There's also a few things in the story. It's like basically when Sonic. I don't want to get. Well, I might as well spoil the story because the story mode is pretty short. Being that one of the things that kind of like was totally bad about it was Sonic, doing a Knuckles. So basically what I mean by that is that Sonic makes a gullible decision about what Eggman was up to, and Eggman actually owns Meteor Tech, which is an organization that owns these robots that are rampaging right now. And obviously he says, "Oh, I'm not doing anything, honest," and then Sonic just blatantly misses the point and says, "We'll buy what Eggman has to say right now." And I was literally slapping my head put my hands in my face and just say, Sonic, what the heck? Why have you done this? Why have you stooped so low? It's unbelievable. But eventually they do find out, yes, Eggman's up to something and whatnot, and they go to try to stop him. And they go into a place called the Crimson Tower, which is set in this desert. But the only ironic problem with this piece in the story is that the Crimson Tower, get this, is blue. Yes, the color of the tower is blue. It's not crimson, it's not red, it's blue. How can they mess up a scripted design flaw like that? I mean, I can't remember any other game that would have that kind of problem, saying it's like, what was it, the Golden Tower of Doom or something like that, and it's actually gold. Is it instead of like lime green or something like that? No. Obviously this was terrible on Sega's part in terms of story writing and transcripting it into design, which is terrible. Anyway, they should have just called it the Aqua Tower or something stupid. But never mind. Obviously the story, it's a little worse than what you would expect from it. It's just terrible, but nevertheless, you'll breeze through it no problem. Right, okay, I've talked about the story enough. Let's go on to the next bit, which is the gameplay of the game. Yeah. Now, obviously, with the gameplay, it's a little different to what the previous Sonic Riders games were. This time around, on the Wii edition, you've got 3 controller sets. With the Wii, obviously you've got the Wiimote, so obviously there's got to be motion sensoring technology in the game. And with this, it's actually a bad idea this time around. I kid you not. This time around, Sega have opted for 3 controller setups. The Wiimote, which is, the main controller, obviously, sideways, like holding it like the traditional controller, or traditional NES controller. The other one is pointing the Wiimote at the screen to move your character, which is just terrible. It just looks absolutely bad. And the other one is the more proper way of playing the game, which is the GameCube controller. Now, when I first picked it up, I just instantly went for the GameCube controller because I played Sonic Riders, the first Sonic Riders, on the GameCube, and instantly said, right, okay then, I don't want to learn any newfangled technology for this type of game. I just want to play the game normally. Just give me the GameCube controller and I'll play it for you. And that's pretty much it. I tried the other systems, they just don't work. But the GameCube controller, they've kept the same control system for the GameCube controller, and that's fine. I like it, it's okay. It is playable. Don't believe what other people are saying, it's saying that it's not playable. It is playable. Other things with the gameplay. Now let's go into this. In the previous Sonic Riders, we had a turbulence system and an air system where you had air to power your board and do drifts around corners. This time around, it's replaced with a gravity system where you defy gravity by by pressing either the B or the R button. So B button is for gravity control, which allows you to turn around sharp corners. And the corners on this game is pretty sharp. Some of them, like the very, very 90-degree angle types. Some are even like 180 degrees, very, very close. So obviously you would need to use the gravity control. And there's the gravity dive, which is supposed to be like a speed boost as such, best for going through like the kind of like straights in tracks. It's good for straights. So yeah. The only problem with it is that, with the gameplay for this system anyway, is that you have to save up your gravity points, more importantly for turns rather than speed boost. Because if you use up your speed boost and you don't get enough gravity points, which you can gain by doing tricks, or depending on which character you are, you can do it in various other means, like, you know, grinding on rails, flying through hoops, busting through, you know, cars, stuff like that. You know, you can gain gravity points that way. But if you use up all the gravity points in a gravity dive and you get to a corner, you can press the B button, you can slow down time, but you won't get that speed boost at the very end. You won't be jetted to get yourself a good head start. You'll just stand there and you'll have to slowly pick up speed, so it's obviously that can be annoying. Also, the turns themselves can be like troublesome trying to get around them. I mean, it takes a while to actually learn the tracks, especially, you know, like the first half of the tracks, like the heroes tracks, and it does take a while to actually get used to it, and obviously it's just, you know, practice makes perfect, really. Like I said, with the tricks, like doing tricks to do, you know, to get gravity points this time around is just too plain and too simple and just too boring. Because all you have to do is go up a ramp. When it tells you to press A, press A. You don't have to turn. You don't have to move your control stick. You don't have. No, if you have the Wiimote, you don't have to shake your Wiimote around and to do various other tricks. No. It's just you do that, and that's it. You know. It's just that terrible. Sadly, you know. It's. It could have been done better. And it's like they could have used the same trick system in the previous game to implement it into this game, but apparently they've just removed the kind of like fun of it all, like you being able to do multiple tricks in a limited amount of time before you hit the ground, and but this time around you just either press A on its own or select a direction and press A and just hope for the best. Just hope for the best, and it's like to get a decent ranking to boost up your gravity point meter. But yeah, other gameplay aspects, like you know, there's like different modes in it. There's a small amount of extra gears to collect as well. But the mission mode can be easily done in about, you know, 5 to 10 hours session, and that's you know, completing them with extreme rankings, because that's the highest ranking you can get is an extreme ranking, and that it was just too easy for me anyway. You know, it was so easy, in fact, that I literally just like, right, what's the next thing, you know, and but also with the mission mode, it's too repetitive as well. It just continuously does the same thing in each level. It's like the same 7 sets, besides a few other things. It's always the same 7 sets of missions in each level. Like, you have to collect this amount of rings, you have to collect, you know, you have to do this amount of tricks, do that, this, and the next thing in the same thing, in the same order in every level. It's just terrible. I mean, the only difference between this one and the last game is only 12 extra missions. Now, the missions in Sonic Riders 1 was way more difficult than in Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, literally. And you know, I don't know what Sega have done this time around, but I think they've made the game more accessible for people who played the game on the previous game, like Sonic Riders on the GameCube or PS2 or the Xbox, and you know, that's, you know, kind of, you know, difficult to believe as such. I mean, it's just terrible that Sega made it that easy for me anyway. I mean, you know, I still would have liked the challenge, but not too hard of a challenge. But still, I got past it, and you would end up, you know, not touching this after you've done the story mode and the mission mode, and you know, done at least one free race, and you know, done the 2 World Grand Prix things. That's you done. Literally, I mean, that's you completed, like, you know, for getting the characters. And it's like, it's too generous as well in giving you stuff. And it's like, when you complete the heroes missions, you know, the hero's story, you get these characters. And it's like, oh, have a handful of characters. When you complete the Babylon Rogue story, it's like, oh, here's another handful of characters for you. When you complete the mission mode, all 12 missions, it's like, oh, here's another bunch of characters for you. Extreme them, and it's like, oh, here's a Chaos Emerald. You know, no, it was just too generous as such, and it just lacked the way of you know, playing the game, you know, properly. You know, like in the previous game, you got characters that were time locked to play, you know, the certain amount of hours, like play 40 hours a game, play 40 hours in a game, and you would get, you know, a new character unlocked. And it's a shame. It's a shame they've done that. It's that they've taken out that kind of like, you know, kind of like lifespan to the game. It's pretty terrible. But anyway, I'll move on. I think I've talked about the gameplay too much, so much. We'll talk about various other things about the game, and what other features are in the game as well. Now, the other features in Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, you do have Wi-Fi capabilities in it, but it's only online leaderboards, and that's pretty sad because it's got these multiplayer aspects to the game, but it's, you know, it's only for offline play. It seems that you can go out, you can play against friends, you can play up to 4 players, but you know, it's only offline, so that's kind of bad. What's even worse is that it's like, it's in the game when you're playing on the single player, you've got 8 characters. You're moving at a steady frame rate of 60 frames per second, okay? But the characters around you, your opponents, they're running at 30 frames per second. They run slower than you, and you'll see it, no problem. It's like on the Wii, you will notice it pretty well in the game, and I'm thinking that's why they didn't do online plays, because it wouldn't hold it. It wouldn't hold a steady frame rate or something like that. I don't know, but I think they should have really done something about that. The same goes for the control system. It's like for the gameplay, they should have made more options of gameplay. They should have utilized the Wiimote and the nunchuck, or even the classic controller for people who don't own a game, who don't actually owned a GameCube back in the day. I mean, this game here, Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. If you've got the Wii version, you have to have a GameCube when you play this game. That's the only reason why you would get Sonic Riders Zero Gravity on the Wii, is because, you know, it has GameCube functionality. It has GameCube controller functionality. In fact, I actually use a Wavebird, yeah, which is the wireless controller for the GameCube, and that's what I use. And it just feels better. Obviously, you don't have any rumble, but it still feels better. Yeah. Because and obviously I guess, you know, the rumble feature would activate when you do the gravity dives or gravity control or whatnot, but obviously, do you care? No, I don't think so. But you know, the games, you know, the game is pretty, I don't know, just like, it's subpar. It's like, what was it? What was it? For like, you know, the game is okay. It's not great. It's not fantastic in any way. Don't get me wrong, but it could have been improved. Seriously, it could have been a heck of a lot better with, you know, better kind of like, you know, better extras, maybe. You know, I mean, yeah, you've got like the, you know, you've got like the extra. It's like you've only got a handful of extra gears. You've only got a handful of extra missions. You've got you've got a, you know, you've got like leaderboards, which is terrible. I mean, you can download ghosts. You know, it's like, I mean, ghosts. I mean, come on, that's just terrible. I mean, there is a replay value. There is a replay in the game that allows you to check your performance in the game, but you don't have the ability to save your replays, which is terrible. I mean, you would have thought they would put in a save function for your replays, because heck, I've got a lot of free space in, you know, in my Wii that is hardly being used, and, you know, I would like to use it for, you know, like crap like that. And it's like, I would love to put, you know, like replays on my machine. It would be, you know, it would be great. It would be great to do that, but apparently no. They've totally missed it. I think overall, Sonic Team and Sega have overlooked this game and just rushed it out too fast. And so, this game was announced before, and this is the most ironic thing, this game was announced before Sonic Riders 1 was released. When Sonic 1 was about to be released, Sonic Riders 1 was supposed to be, was going to be released a couple of weeks before it was going to be released, or after it was going to be released. Sega announced that they were going to do a sequel. And, you know, the first Sonic Riders was okay. It wasn't great. I mean, the turbulence system was terrible, but, you know, but confirming a sequel so that early is just, you know, was kind of baffling. And now, obviously, you know, it's just terrible. It's like that they've pretty much cut corners in this game. It feels like they've cut corners. I mean, and it shows. It shows in the kind of like longevity of the game. The price for it as well is pretty astonishing. It's like, if you gotta get a version of Zero Gravity, you might as well go for the PS2 version, just because it's that cheaper. I mean, regular retail prices is like $19.99 for Sonic Riders Zero Gravity on the PlayStation, whilst it's $39.99 on the Wii, which is pretty much a rip-off, actually. So you'll have to wait for it to be dropped in price to actually get it and have a go at it, because it's not worth £40 of your money, of your hard-earned money, of you doing all those chores for your parents and stuff like that. It's not worth it. It's not even worth the amount of time you get hassled from work. So there you go. Other things, you know, I mean, I'm trying to find a positive thing. I mean, I do like the gravity system. I think it's cool, and it works, but it just, you know, overall, it just doesn't sum up for a great title. I mean, it's a racing title with Sonic. I mean, racing and Sonic, you know, have totally been miscommunicated in the past now, and you know, there's never gonna be a good or decent Sonic racing title. I mean, this one's adequate, but it's adequate to a certain degree because obviously it's a Sonic title, Sonic's on it, and it's a racing title. If it's Sonic and racing nowadays just do not work hand in hand. But if this game didn't have Sonic in it, I don't know. Maybe it might have been successful. Maybe it wouldn't. But it is okay. It's an okay game. I mean, it's not groundbreaking. It's not fantastic. It's not like, oh, go get it now. It's fantastic. It's worth your money. But no, it's nothing like that. So I think I'll just, you know, sum it up right now. With you know, with this, if you want to get Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, get it cheap. That's all I have to say. Is get it cheap. If you don't get it cheap, fine, you've just wasted your money. Because you'll get through it pretty easily. If you've got a GameCube controller, you're gonna fly through it. If you got if you've only got the Wii controls, like the Wiimote, then it's gonna take a little bit longer because it'll take a while to get used to the Wii motion sensing controls. I mean, one of the problems is that you can both move by tilting the controller and using the D-pad. But what if you want to just use the D-pad? You have to stand, you have to sit very still. You can't deactivate the motion sensing controls. You can't disable the movement of the controller. You have to still use it. And then if you kind of like lean listily to the right or left, you know, it's you know, it's gotta be pretty bad to just stand there like a statue, you know, like locked in. Stuff like that. Other things about the game, I forgot all about it. The music is great. I mean, you can hear it in the background. This is the Sonic Riders Zero Gravity music right here, and it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool, and it's worth, you know, mentioning. I mean, the main theme, the remixes, and, you know, the various beats is totally good. It's, you know, so if you're looking for a title that has great music and decent gameplay, or you know, it's an okay gameplay system, then go get it. You know, it's pretty sweet, but get it cheaply. And it's like, don't waste your money. In fact, if you got various rubbish titles lying around, trade those in and get Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. Then you find that those titles were worth trading in, you know, to get rid of, because you've just traded in rubbish for subpar rubbish. I mean, I'm not saying Sonic Riders Zero Gravity is rubbish, but it's, you know, it's decent. But it could have been worked. Sega should have worked on it more than just simply, and it's like, right, okay then, bish bash bosh, there's the game, enjoy, you know. But overall, I think they still should have worked on it. So, to sum up, story, quick, easy, typical Sonic rubbish. Gameplay, it's okay. The gravity system works. It does work. Don't get me wrong, it does work. But the controller systems could have been worked on. Could have been more options. And the music's great. Level design's pretty okay. Okay as well. I mean, I forgot to mention that. Level design is pretty cool. But the extra ways to play the game, like play the level, it's kind of difficult. Kinda. It's like it's difficult in a way where it's like you see a thing and it just doesn't work. And it's like in the level there's springs in the level and it has like a little symbol. It has Sonic running, and I'm thinking, oh, that's for speed type, I'm guessing. So I go in there as Sonic, run into it. What do? I just bounce off of it. Like, I just bump into it. It doesn't send me anywhere. What you have to do, and this is actually in the manual, you have to get an item that allows you to attack other people, and this is in the item boxes that you collect. So if you're like in the lower, like say 7th or 8th, you'll get that item no problem. But if you're in if you're in first place, you won't get that item at all, so it'll be worthless. The springs will be worthless to you. That's another problem with it. With other things, with other level, the level design. Sometimes it's like, you can find out that there's shortcuts or faster ways of getting past the level by doing a gravity control onto that wall or something like that, but you won't notice it until the very last minute. And you're thinking, oh no, I've just missed that. Oh, never mind, I'll just carry on. But no, it's like that. It's like that most of the time, and it can be annoying. So yeah. So overall, I mean, it's like there is other multiplayer modes. I mean, there's you've got the Grand Prix. You can have 1 or 2 players to help you. So you can have a free race, which is up to 4 players. You've got like these survival games, which I haven't even tried, and I don't think I'll ever try. Namely because it'll just be boring as heck. Like in the other survival games, like the other survival modes in the previous Sonic Riders or Sonic Riders 1. I'd probably just leave it alone. Me anyway. If you got friends that are Sonic fans, then play it, because obviously with myself, I have friends, just not in the vicinity of where I am, and they're not Sonic fans. And the friends I do aren't Sonic fans, so they don't play with me. So I'm a lonely boy. So there we go. Anyway, enough about me babbling on. What's the score? Tell me, what is the score of Sonic Riders Zero Gravity? Well, being that it's got good points and it's got bad points, and it's kind of like mixed. It's like half and half. It's quite balanced. It's like in this game. So I think out of 10, it should be smack down in the middle with a 5. 5 out of 10. Because I can't split it anywhere, either or in the game. It's got great music, it's got a decent control system, like the gravity control system is pretty good, although gameplay's pretty cool and whatnot, but well, some of it anyway, but also some of the gameplay's pretty rubbish, the story's rubbish, and various also the control system, the controllers, you can only work it with a GameCube controller, which is just terrible. So you would have to find yourself a GameCube controller. So it's just terrible. And I think there's other thing. Also, another good point, it's got great music. And another bad point would be lack of online stuff. It's like, obviously it's got like online leaderboards, but what doesn't? I mean, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games had online leaderboards, but no online play. So why? Why at all? Ask me that. So anyway, so that's why it's so balanced. It's got good and bad stuff, and it's equally balanced. So I'm thinking it should be right back, smack in the middle of our rating system, which is 5 out of 10. So that's Sonic Riders Zero Gravity for the Wii. Anyway, I haven't played the PS2 version, but if you want to, go ahead. It's very cheap. Give it a shot. Although it won't be as good, maybe. I'm not sure, but it'll still be, something. It'll be a cheap game to, play on your dying PS2, obviously, because it is dying now, ain't it? So, anyway, I should finish this off. This is Turbo from the XG team, saying catch you in the Extreme Gaming News podcast for the Wii News, of course, and check out more reviews coming onto tfmx.co.uk real soon, and you never know, you might see me coming back with another Wii title to show you people, or well, tell you people about, and various other stuff. There we go. So enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed listening to the review. This is Turbo signing out. See you later.